All right, man. We are live. This is B Tones right here from the B Tones podcast, but that's not me today. Today I'm with my brothers, the Grateful Brothers, that is. We're missing one, but he'll join us next time, no doubt. But I want to introduce you to us because we are a group of entrepreneurs, but we're simple. We're regular guys. We met about a year ago, came together underneath the umbrella of gratitude, talked about plenty of business strategies, the things that we got going on in our lives. And every once in a while, we come together just to meet up, encourage one another, talk about our struggles, talk about our pains, and then ultimately reflect on gratitude, which makes everything better and our path a lot smoother. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves right now. My brother
Yeah,
Rod,
yeah.
how's it going, Mr. Brand Strategist?
It's going amazing. Thank you for having me yet again. Great to see my brothers as always. We're missing one of the group, but that's okay. He's busy, he's focused, and we're here. We're grateful for the opportunity anyway. But yeah, man, life is great. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I feel like sometimes I'm sitting in a room full of fire, inhaling smoke, and I just have to smile and drink my coffee and keep going, right? But at least my skin isn't melting. You
Come
just,
on, man.
just got to find something to be grateful about.
Right, right. My
So that's
man
it.
Greg, my man Greg taking road trips during the call, but he's here. He's making it, man. What's going on, man?
Man, I am celebrating the release of my book, From Waiter to Greater: How Anyone Can Level Up from Where They Are. It's a leadership and development initiative. It is a transformation for youth and adults alike because everyone is looking for that next level. Everyone needs to feel like they matter because
Mm,
they do. And, I dedicate this book to anyone that's been told they were too much or not enough or broken or that there was something missing. Because
mm,
I found a flaw in the system, a glitch in the matrix, went from 213 an hour for 15 years to
mm,
$250,000 a year with no degree. And I feel like people need to know that it is not the world that we grew up in where you go to school, get a job, work for 40 years, retire and get a, retirement. That's not the world we live in anymore.
mm.
And you are your brand. I'm sure Rod would agree with me here.
I would, for sure.
You are your brand, and the world is moving towards a world where everybody will work for themselves.
Mm.
And if you do not have the soft skills, which I argue they're not the soft skills, they are the crucial skills that you need. Communication,
Mm.
period. Just communication, networking, relationships, empathy, listening, active listening. Like these skills, you're not going to be able to survive without them. We got 18 months to 5 years, and that's being generous
Yeah,
before
Mm.
anything that can be replaced with AI will be replaced with AI.
you
It's
ain't lying.
it's interesting you say that. And I know, Brad, you've been on this trail, you've been learning a lot. But I was listening to something today that was talking about that. And honestly, I don't think anybody has the timeline right. I think
Mm.
it's been happening for a while, and it's gonna like
It's going to ramp up.
it's almost like a fire, like they
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
the fire and it's like, oh my God, the house is on fire. And then before you know it, the whole thing is inflamed.
Yep.
right.
I think that's what we're facing right now.
And what would be the win? Because that's how fire spreads, man.
It's
Mm.
going to be AI generated wind, because once I think they call it AIG or something like that. Once it crosses
AGI.
over AGI, where it's
Yeah.
able to basically rapidly advance itself, that's the
Hmm.
wind that it's going to need, because at that point, it doesn't need a human to interact with in order to develop and get better.
Right.
So imagine a computer system that is 400,000 times smarter than you, able to get smarter on its own.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
the craziest part, Rod, is that we're feeding it. Every time we interact with it, it learns more about how we think, why we think, what we need. And then as it compiles that data for us and we respond to it like it's a person, it becomes a person. Have y'all played with ChatGPT 5 agent mode?
Yes. Yeah, I did that last week.
Did you see it on your browser? Like not on your
Yeah,
phone, on your browser, how it
yeah.
opened up its own browser and
Hmm.
then it tells you what it's thinking about and what problems it's going through and its whole thought process.
Yeah. I
Mm.
asked it to give me a travel plan, like a whole vacation package travel plan, just to see what it could do. Because if I used it, I figured it would, do something like that. And it was like moment by moment telling me what it was looking through, what it was doing. I was just like, dog, this thing is moving fast, way faster than I can. It was analyzing so much information so much faster. But this is all I gotta say about it. When the time comes, I'm going to be moving to Zion and moving in with Morpheus. And I don't know where Neo and Trinity and all of them are going to be, but I'm going to be somewhere there. And I'm telling you, I already know what my whole virtual like Matrix version of myself looks like. I'm going to have the slick, long, black, leather coat with some ill shades, man. I'm going to be ready.
Here's the problem, B-Tones. You just told AI where you're going to be, so they're going to find you. You know what I'm saying? It knows your voice. It registers you. It's going to know exactly where you are.
Well, look, we ain't got no hope, though.
Have you guys ever seen this show called Person of Interest?
Yes. I did not finish the show.
Go back and watch the show. It is literally live. What we're living in 2025 is what this show entails. But on this same subject, before we move on to anything else, man, number one, I am grateful for even having the ability to use AI. So don't get this statement I'm about to make wrong. But I am entering a phase of my life where I'm starting to question if I should be using it, if I should be trying to advance myself with it, if I should be trying to, center myself around it in a way where it speeds up everything that I do. And here's why. I heard a very influential person post a reel the other day. They were super excited about this too. I mean, you can hear it in their voice. And they were talking about saving about $100,000 in payroll because they fired their entire marketing department because they've replaced them with AI. And they were speaking about it from a business aspect, which on the surface level that makes sense. But as soon as he said it, my mind went to that's $100,000 of payroll to a human or multiple humans who now don't have a job.
Yeah, right? Man.
They're affected by that. He's excited about this because he's saving money, but he's not saving their ability to buy their family food. Right. And so that made me rethink everything. And I'm like, are we losing sight of certain pieces of humanity by way of learning how to advance ourselves individually?
Absolutely.
What's more important, capitalism or humanism?
Let's dive into this because this is, I'm sure, like an intriguing topic. We have a serious amount of people who are still afraid of it, even though it is washing over the world like a tidal wave. So you have to get used to it. You have to apply it in your life. It makes things a whole lot easier. I think it pushes us to be a little bit more independent than we already were, because I know, like today, I saw so many videos on social media that were AI generated. They were not real, but you just could not tell. And what this does is it causes people to question what is authentic and what isn't, which is the reason why lives in video posts like these are going to gain value. Like, for instance, this week I'm doing I've been actually for the past weeks since the beginning of August doing a campaign with another brother to post every day in the goal to get 1,000 followers on Instagram per account. And as we were doing it, we wanted to focus on transparency for the theme of this week. And I was like, the best way we can do that is just show up as our authentic selves. No preparation, no, make sure you're all polished up and everything. Let's just get on the mic. Even got some words from you, Rod. Like last week, he was like, Doug, don't come on there trying to, with your sales speech. Come on there just as Brad. And you know what? When you said it, I smirked because initially it sounded like a voiceover ask, because that's exactly how a voiceover ask from a producer would sound. We need you to go in there and just sound like your regular self. I was like, oh, okay. So I just switched over because I've been doing that. And the amount of kudos that I've gotten from people that I did not think were even watching, that's what it is. I got good words, of course, from my family and friends, but it was people like, yo, I see what you're doing out there, bro. Keep on doing it. Like, I needed to hear that, man. That was real. And I was like, yo, it's working. That's what is becoming valuable now. How do you guys see that in your own respective lives as far as branding and posting and marketing?
I'll let Greg go first because you already know where I stand on this.
Man, I think that it is a golden opportunity for us people that already know how to be great humans
Mhm.
to just show up and be ourselves and not have to put on all that, like you said, the professional voice, the work voice, the got to have the perfect background, got to have the perfect mic in the scene, like all that stuff. We don't have to do that. We could just
Yeah,
show up and be ourselves, and then AI can't imitate that.
Mm.
Like, there's certain things that AI just cannot do, and the beauty I'm seeing the 30,000 foot view. Let AI take over, and everyone get tired of everything being so robotic and stiff and inauthentic, and
hmm
watch how the human race will bounce back even stronger, even more connected because we know what it's like to be disconnected. I think contrast is a beautiful thing, right? You can't have anything that exists with one side. So yeah, let it take its course, right?
hmm
And then when they see that the pendulum is swung from all connectivity, where we started as humans, to all disconnected and automated and we're just making money on autopilot, right?
hmm
Like, if everything is always good and everything is always perfect and everything always works, why?
Yeah, look, and at the end of the day, like I think that being able to teach people how to be human again is going to be a commodity.
Yes.
Like the human desire to connect with another human will always be in existence. This is
Yeah.
the reason why people go out. This is the reason why there are communities being formed left and right, whether virtual or in person or both.
Yeah.
People want to connect with other people, even if they are on opposite sides of the river, right? Obviously, you're going to want to connect with people that have a common ground. But
Yeah.
at this stage of life, people just want to connect with people.
Yeah.
And as we move further into this, Brad, mark
hmm
my words, this is a recording, so it's gonna be here for forever to see. The person who understands how to help people connect with other people is gonna be the new Jeff Bezos and the
Yeah,
new
man.
Elon Musk and the new,
Yeah,
because
man.
like you said, Morpheus, they're gonna need a Morpheus to build Zion.
Yeah.
So I need you to go ahead and get your stuff ready, man. Get your
I
black
might need
pepper.
to shave my head, and get actually Morpheus ain't had no hair. I might just shave it all and just say good evening and come on the mic just like that, man. Gotta be able to loosen up and help people connect with other people because that's one of the anxieties that I hear a lot in my coaching is the fact that people are like when I'm around my friends and around my family, of course I have no problem communicating. You know what I'm saying? I'm myself. I'm open. I'm free. It's like, but when I get in front of people or a lot of people I don't know, and it's like start hyperventilating and start sweating, hands get clammy. You know what I'm saying? I start shaking in my voice, and I want to know why that happens. I was like, it's deeper than just the atmosphere and the environment you're in. It's the it's not having the confidence behind what you're
Mm,
going to say in the fact that you want to be accepted. You don't believe you're going to be accepted. Your viewpoint. We have to
yeah,
get to a place where we're so authentic and comfortable with ourselves. It doesn't matter who we're in front of, you know?
yeah,
And I find that this is a specific problem for people, and those who are hearing this, chime in. It's a specific problem because we know that in this day and age, it's so easy to offend somebody.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
easy.
The
But
the
I like,
offense is one piece of it, Brad, but I would beg to say that like I don't think people don't know how to be authentic. They're authentic with their friends and their family and people that they want to be vulnerable with.
Mhm.
I think the problem is we're programmed to code switch. But if we were to switch the code and just be ourselves, we wouldn't have any issues. We're so used to saying, "Oh, let me pucker up. Here comes the man." Right? If we would just learn how to be okay with whoever we are in front of anybody, that is the skill set. You have to learn how to be okay being
Mhm.
yourself. And
Yeah.
people struggle with that because we've been programmed for years. So I don't know. I don't know what switched in my mind, but
Mhm.
one day I just decided that I don't care what other people think about me in
Right.
that light anymore.
I grew
That's
up with a
freedom.
lot of old heads who did that, man. How many both I'm guessing both of y'all know how to switch to corporate voice to regular voice, right? That's a skill that we learn working in corporate America. You pick up the phone, uh, good morning, this is Bradley Trammell. How may I
Yeah.
help?
I used to know
versus
how.
oh,
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, when's the last time I had to use a corporate voice? Like,
right, but that's a part of the programming that Rod's talking about.
yeah,
We do that even subconsciously.
it's,
When we
I
meet other
mean,
people, we put that on.
Yeah,
I
but
used to.
right, and I'm with Greg on that. Go ahead, Greg. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna cut you off.
no, I was in Austin last week before, whatever, and I went down to visit my boy David, and came to his construction site. They're building 7-Elevens. I'm wearing a suit because I was about to go meet with somebody in the Capital One building. But they put the hard hat on me, and I go in the suit and I watch everyone just shape up and like start working faster. And he's like, "Man, they're acting different because you're here because they think you're one of the owners, and so they think they're doing something wrong." And so people are like very respectful. One guy was ready to give his hat off his head for me, and I'm like, "This is so weird." But
Mm,
I remember when I worked at Michael's, I was in the customer service. Like they called us great experience makers. We were gems. And I was just customer service. Like I'm nothing more than the person working in the warehouse. But what we found is that um when we sent out our frames, they were coming damaged. And so I was like, hey, just send me to the warehouse. I'll go see what the problem is, and then we'll be able to fix it at the root so we don't have to keep doing refunds. So I go to the warehouse. I'm not even dressed in a suit. I'm just business casual, and people are either mean mugging me or they're acting a different way. And
Mhm.
then one guy finally had the guts to say, "So you work at corporate, right? So y'all like just like sit around a table, eat shrimp cocktail, and like drink wine, right?" I was like, "Where do you think I work? Like I make just as much as you, bro. I just work in a different building, sitting at a desk, getting fat." And so the UPS guy comes, opens up the truck and starts kicking the boxes off and throwing them, and you can hear the glass. And I'm like, well, there's our problem right there. No one would address him. No one would say, hey, don't do that. So I was like, hey, does that say fragile? He's like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. I was like, oh, okay. So the problem is no one's addressed this guy. I said, you throw another box, I'm gonna start having them take it out of your paycheck because I've been in the office having to refund all of these. He's like, oh man, yeah, my bad, bro. I didn't even shit. I don't even see it. And like he's just completely clueless. And I was like, well, there we go. That's the problem.
Hmm.
Nobody else would have said that.
but I want to chime in real quick before I
Yeah, come
lose
on,
this
come on,
thought.
come on.
Like Brad, like some people are not gonna like me for saying this, but this is just
Let's
the
go.
truth.
Bring it.
Okay. If you're willing to shed skin and layers of the old you
Mhm.
and put on new layers, then you don't have to act a certain way when you get around anybody. Here's what I mean by that. I made a conscious decision to not use the N word when I talk, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm with people I grew up with when I was using the N word and they're using the N word, it's not going to make me go back to who I used to be because I've shed that layer of my life.
Mhm.
I put on a new layer that does not use that word. So guess what? When I get in corporate settings, I don't have to code switch. I'm just being me because
Mhm.
I've become somebody new, right?
Yes.
And I can go for category to category to category with that same mantra. And so once you become this person, no matter who you're around, you're that same person. And
Mhm.
so it's a sweet balance, man, where you're not like faking the funk in front of the CEO and you're also not acting all uppity in front of your mama, right?
Right.
You're able
Yeah.
to be who you have become and they have to adjust to that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
the 60-year-old Caucasian man that is leading this company that I'm working under has to adjust to my blackness. My mom has to adjust to my corporateness. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I can go all the way around the world.
Yeah.
That is how you are able to be authentic and comfortable in your own skin in any setting.
Hmm. Now, a lot
And
of
we
people hearing that they understand exactly the method that you took and the I guess the value in doing it, of course. But what are the practical steps involved in doing that? Does that require meditation? Does that require
that's
affirmation?
what I
Does that
was
require
just
reading or
yes.
videos? Because that I mean, you're talking about something that's been encoded in you for years with friends,
Mhm.
with other people, which makes that thing stronger within you to act a certain way, to be a certain way. How do you begin to change that? Does it begin by separation from those people?
No,
Need a
I
couple
think it just
steps.
begins by you making a decision to do something. And you guys come up with the same Myron-esque, you know, lineage of data that I come in, right? Which is basically once you make the decision to do something, you're cutting yourself off from any other opportunity to do the opposite.
Ah,
So it begins with making that decision, and then you have to put in the work to keep it up because
yeah,
you're going to find yourself in a situation where the old you is going to rise up.
right.
You know, your flesh is always going to war against your spirit. And so once you get into that position, the decision has to come back. You have to say to yourself, you know what? I see what's happening here. I'm
Mm,
not going to go back down that road.
mm,
And it's a continual thing. And don't get it twisted. You're going to get tried. There are times where, and I'm not trying to front, right? There are times where I get around certain people from my childhood or whatnot, and it draws it out. And I
Yeah.
yeah,
catch myself. And then I pull back into, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's not about being perfect with it. It's
No.
about recognizing it as you go and then doing something about it. But yeah, to your point, meditation, reading, all of that stuff, it is a part of you being able to do it more and more with ease until it becomes your norm.
Right, right.
May I add a
Family.
layer that
Yeah.
comes right before what you said?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know that something's wrong, I can't even change it. So there's three things. There's three things that need to happen. You were in the middle, and you mentioned the middle and the end, but it's that awareness. I have to be aware, because if I don't know, I can't change what I don't know. I
But
can't change what I don't acknowledge,
I
right?
agree with you, Greg, and I don't want to jump in and cut you off, but I have to. I disagree with this part. From the age of 6, we know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
We make up excuses. We act like we don't know. We blame our environment. We blame our upbringing. We blame our trauma. But we know.
Right. And with that, because we're blaming, as soon as you blame, as soon as you shift blame to something else and say, I can't change because of the environment I
It's
grew
just
up in.
who I am. I was, yeah.
Right, right.
Uh-huh.
I have no choice, right? As soon as I acknowledge that I'm the problem, I also become the solution. But if I don't ever acknowledge that I am responsible, then that thing has to change in order for me to change, and I'm powerless. But as soon as I have that choice, that awareness that I can make a choice, I don't have to just say the N word because I got around my friends I grew up with. I don't have to code switch when I'm in the corporate because that's what everyone else is doing, right? I have a decision to make. That's where it comes in with you. But I have to be aware that I'm doing that. I have to be aware that I am not me wherever I
So,
go. There's no
so
integrity, right? And then
we,
that commitment part. Once
Mhm.
you make the decision, yeah, you can make the decision, but is it a decision or a choice, right? Because I can decide, but then when I go backwards, right? Because I've done that,
Mhm.
it was a choice because I teeter totter. But that commitment is sticking through with the decision I made long after the emotion in which I made it left me, right?
Agreed.
Right,
But to your point, like, and that's why I said it's not about being perfect with it, because I
right.
think you can still make a decision and slip up every now and then. It's
Oh
about
yeah,
what you do when you do slip up, right? But to your
absolutely.
point, it, I'm very careful about this awareness thing. But I thought of an example when you said that, and I'm gonna bring it up now.
Yeah.
Here's how you know already. This
Ah,
is why you don't need awareness more
yeah.
so than you need to acknowledge what you already know. When you're in a corporate situation or working a job and you are doing what you need to do for survival, right? And you get this feeling of angst and anguish because something happened that didn't feel good and somebody treated you wrong, or some situation you got looked over, or you did all this work and didn't get recognition, or this person got a promotion and they don't look like you. I can go on and on and on because you know that feeling that I'm talking about. That moment you have a choice. And
Yeah.
what we typically do is we lean on comfortability. Oh, well, I better not say nothing because, oh, well, I might lose my job if I bring this up. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean? So I just decided after having a few situations like that, that I didn't like that feeling anymore. I don't want to feel this way. So
Yeah.
when the last time I had that feeling, somebody tried to steal my paycheck, literally swooped right under me and said, "Hey, take his name off of that and put my name on that deal."
Oh,
And I
wow.
found out about it, and I was like, "Yo, that's what we doing? You just gonna take my money like that? I gotta feed my kids with this money." And when I addressed it, he was like, yeah, well, I just wanted to get paid. I'm like, okay, so you want to fight too? Because I mean, we could do that.
Yeah.
Needless to say, he brought his boss in, I brought my boss in, and now I have three. And again, it's not about race, but I have to tell the truth for what it is. Three white males who outrank me and me. And my boss didn't back me up. He was like, well, since you did most of the work, we'll give him 1/3 of the pay. We'll give you 2/3 of the pay. I said, by most of the work, do you mean all of the work? Because he didn't do anything. This is my deal. He was like, yeah, but you don't want to cause any friction. Let's just focus on the relationship.
Oh.
I said, you know, and see, Brad, that feeling right there is what I'm talking about. I made up in my mind that day, I'm not code switching anymore. So I stuck to my guns. I pushed and fought. 6 months later, I got my full check, but he blackballed me after that. He left me out
Six
of every
months.
organizational deal, all the proceeds and bonuses. I didn't get anything after that. So here's my point to you. I was okay with that because I was able to be me without
Yeah.
holding back. And I never
Yeah.
changed since that point on.
Mm.
I think the point for me was realizing in the interview that took me across the threshold of waiter to greater.
Mm.
It was in a conversation with the CFO of RealPage. He said, what does Gregory need? And I said, I don't even know what that means. Like, what do you mean? Like, in context to what? He's like, how much money does Gregory need to be okay? I'm like, I could just ask for that. And he's like, well, I've seen you work. I know how you are with people. Like, we already know who you are. So what do you need? And I didn't even know how to answer that. Then he asked me how I manage my vices. And I was not ready for these questions because any other interview I've been in, the interview has been these stale questions that people ask all the time, right? The people that are interviewing don't actually do the job. The people that are recruiting don't even know what they don't get paid what the job they recruit for is. Um, so like there's all this disconnection, but we were connected in that moment. I'm sitting on a couch like a therapy session. He tells me, well, let's get you to $100,000 a year. Let's start at 75. And I'm like, without a degree? He's like, listen, I know how you work. I know who you are. And that was what opened the door for me was, wait, I didn't even try. As a matter of fact, I tried not to be noticed. And so I kept my head down and did my job, but you can't contain who you are. As a matter of fact, when you try to contain who you are, it's like chaining a dog or caging a dog, right? When you
Mm.
finally let
So you
that
trying to
dog
call
out,
me a
what
dog?
happens? Huh?
You trying to call me a dog, man? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm just
Woof
playing.
woof.
A roof.
Woof.
Hit dog or holler.
But the conversation, he said, the reason I ask you how you manage your vices is because once your finances are straight, the vices just tend to fall by the wayside. I was like, huh, wonder what that life's like, right? Then I started making more money and realized that I wasn't thinking about how to anesthetize the pain of not being me. I could just show up and be me, and that was what I was paid for. Problem was, I was no longer a social creature. I was sitting at a desk. So was I me? Not for long. Only lasted 9 months, and I was out. Then I had to find another place to be me. And I found that, I mean, Rod, you were the one that started this ball rolling of me even becoming an entrepreneur because you had left your job and you were surviving and you look like me, sort of.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
we
the
have
it's the
similarities.
dreads. It's the
Yeah, the
dreads.
hair is the same color.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the light skin too. Anyway, entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial spirit, like there is no ceiling on our income. The only ceiling is us. And if I've seen that you can be you and make more money being you without having a code switch, without having to show up and pretend and turn on the corporate voice, like I've literally shown up in boardrooms with billionaires and been the goofy me and made people laugh and made changes in billion-dollar companies that have made $1 million returns.
Mm.
And everyone else, when the corporation or the higher ups or the hippos, highest paid person in the organization show up, they change. They don't say what's really wrong. They try to pretend like everything's okay. And so corporate's like, hey, everything's working great. Let's implement this thing. And if you don't tell someone where you are, but you ask them for directions, they're not going to tell you the right place to go.
Because they're telling it from a different vantage point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I will say this, and we can pass it back to Brad, but like working a job for somebody else, like I think it's okay if that's what you want to do. But I just decided I don't want to play that game anymore.
Mhm.
It's and there are some times in entrepreneurship, Greg, where I ran into a brick wall. I'm like, oh man, this is hard. Maybe I do want to go back to corporate, and I applied for a few jobs. But I will tell you, leading up to those interviews, I felt nothing but anxiety, pressure, stress. I mean, I'm sweating bullets, not because I care so much about getting this job, but because I know that it doesn't feel right before I even get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm walking through the wilderness. I done made it through the Red Sea. I got out of slavery with Moses, and I'm complaining because I don't have onions. That's what
at least they had meat in Egypt.
Take me back to slavery so I can have some onions. Bro. So it's just a real human moment where when you're in a place of pressure, you're willing to go back to another place of pressure so long as you know you got some comfortability in that pressure.
Right. At least
and
it's
I'm just not
pressure.
willing to do that. This is the same reason why people end up going back to jail after they get out sometimes, because they've been in there so long. It's just like, hey, at least I had a bed. It's like, no, you were in prison. Like, no.
I didn't have to work for it.
That part. Yeah.
I have made up in my mind that after this meeting, I'm going to this website where I get sound bites for various vocal projects, audio projects, and I'm going to find a church organ that as soon as Rod starts talking, I can click the button and we're gonna get that. I'm telling you, man, because Rev Rod is cooking tonight, and I'm telling you, these types of conversations are invaluable, not only for the levity that they bring to serious issues. You know, there are people out there whose majority of which still do 9 to 5. And we all know that the entrepreneurship road is the road less traveled, and it's only for the brave. But I tell you the truth, the experience that it offers, it invigorates life. It makes life worth meaning. Because I can tell you this, working corporate or working federal, that I would say, I've been a federal employee for 17 plus years, man. And nothing changed. I knew what time I had to get to work. I knew what time lunch was going to be. And I knew what time I was going to get off. The route that I took to work never changed because the location never changed. And doing that day after day, month after month, year after year, just becomes so mundane. And that life, now that I can see, is designed to just whittle you down until you retire and hope to live off of whatever you've saved from all that. Yep. But just like Greg said, man, there's no cap on entrepreneur. There's no ceiling. It's only, number one, what we believe we can earn, and number two, the opportunities that we either take or miss to make what we want to earn. So always being ready, always being prepared is something that I feel everybody needs to do, whether you're in a 9 to 5 right now or thinking about leaving, whatever it is. The main thing I tell people, because it's a great way to fill in the gaps of what should I do next, is always increase your skill set, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you are blessed with, whatever your gift is, whatever you are good at doing, find a way to increase your knowledge and skill in that area. Because when the opportunity comes along, you would, just like you said, right, you're heading to another interview and so forth. You're sweating bullets because you know it does not feel right. Doesn't it feel good to, I'm not going to say it that way. Doesn't it feel right when you have the opportunity and it aligns perfectly with what you do naturally?
Oh, period. It feels more than right. It's working a job that you don't want to work so that you can survive feels like putting a square block into a circle hole.
Yeah.
And you're forcing it and it's shaping you and it doesn't feel good and there's friction. And now you don't even know who you are because you're shaped differently. Right. But when you're doing what you were born to do, it fits perfectly. And you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about the friction. Now, it's a different kind of friction,
You're
right? Because things are tight. It fits exactly. So it's tight. That square going in that square hole is going to fit perfectly, but it's going to be tight. It ain't no room for error, right? I can go on and on with this analogy, but here's my point to you. It's nothing like operating in your purpose, because when you do, there's a fulfillment that comes on the other side of that. Like even me talking right now, these are not my words. I didn't think through that square plug analogy before I said it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm operating in my purpose. This is what I was
So the
born to
spirit is
do.
working through you. Yep.
Right. It just hits different. And then you can see how you're touching other people's lives through that thing. So it's completely different. I had a thought I was going to share, but I completely forgot it. So, but I'm with you 1,000%. It's nothing like it. And if it's somebody out here watching this, and you're on your job right now, and you know you hate your job, whether it's because of the thing you do, whether it's because of the people on the job, just know that there is hope on the other side of this.
Yeah, man.
But to your point, I remember what I wanted to say, Brad. You said something very interesting. First, you said develop your skill. And then in the process of explaining that, you said get the knowledge and the skill. So those are two different things. And I think people concentrate on the knowledge part of it, and they assume that it automatically equates to skill, and it does not. Imagine trying to learn how to play football by reading a book. It's only so much you can get. You eventually will have to strap on some cleats and go out there and run some routes and make some tackles. There's no other way to develop that skill other than to be on the field, playing the thing that you have learned in a book. All right. So it's no different with entrepreneurship or working a job. You cannot be afraid to launch. You built the rocket, you got everything in place, you count down T-10, you get to 1 and you go, well, I'm not ready. Let's run some more tests. Let's get some more knowledge.
Let's get some more courses in us.
Yeah. Let's go ask ChatGPT how to launch a rocket. Okay.
Yeah, right.
You understand what I'm saying? At some point, you have to press that button and watch that spaceship blow up.
You have to.
That's how you learn.
And there's going to be a couple spaceships before you finally get one into space.
Couple.
I was being generous.
The CEO of Canva, which is $1 billion industry, had 99 people say no. She got one person to say yes from an investor standpoint. That triggered Canva becoming what you know it is today. Imagine if she would have gave up on 98.
Yeah. Or 2 or 1 or 30. Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So no, like there's gonna be, and nobody knows how many no's you got to go through. You just
gotta go through the no's.
And I will say, I just watched Myron's Bible study earlier, and he was talking about there's 3 different there's levels of wisdom, right? Wisdom is the application of the knowledge, but a lot of people get knowledge and they think they have wisdom, and like you said, skill. So you can know about a thing. That doesn't mean you're wise about the thing or you know how to do the thing. You can know how to do the thing, and you're a little better than knowing about the thing, right? But once you do the thing, that's the only way you're going to find out that, there's a lock on the door, or, whatever. There's a place to fall. There's a pitfall. There's a
lost your audio there, Greg.
Why?
There it is. It's
the
bad.
audio bounced out. Yeah.
AI was blocking you out. They didn't want us to hear what you said.
Oh man, not yet.
Yeah, exactly. It just connected me to the car. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's gonna cut out again. She's gonna disconnect me.
Just talk. We hear you.
Now? Okay.
Yeah.
So I said all that to say, get wisdom at all costs. That's what it says in the word. Get wisdom, and with all thy wisdom and all thy getting, get understanding. How do we get the understanding? I can't understand, like you said, how to play football by reading the book. As a matter of fact, I will not. I refuse to read the book. I want to play.
Right.
I don't even like football, and I would rather play than read a book.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Greg. Most people don't want to get hit.
Ah,
And they want to make sure they understand all of the rules and all the ways to avoid the pain before they get on the field.
yeah.
And they don't realize that the only way to get on the field is to deal with some of the pain that comes along with it. There's no other way.
Yeah.
You can't get in a boxing ring and expect not to get hit in the mouth. I don't care how much you practice defense, you're gonna get punched.
Yeah. Plain
It's
and
part
simple.
of the sport.
You're gonna look like Martin in that one episode.
Man, look.
That's what entrepreneurship feels like.
So
Oftentimes.
Brad, I said I was gonna bring it up. We're gonna do this bracket on these top cartoons, but we're gonna also apparently have to do like sitcoms and shows, and like this is a thing, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, let's
Hey
do
man,
it.
we could bring this thing back every week. We got to get the thing together, put it out, see what people think, and then from week to week, we see who's winning in each of the bracket, who wins each matchup, and then the championship, which I'm already calling, is going to be Transformers in the championship. We're gonna see what happens with that. But look forward
Why don't
to
we
it.
just-
We got our 16. What you about to say,
Well-
Greg?
Well, why don't we just ask the audience? What do they want? They want sitcoms or cartoons first?
Nah, we're not asking the audience. The audience is getting what we give them.
Right
Just
now.
like this podcast. They getting what we give them. Yeah.
Let's
yeah,
go. Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I'm with
Y'all
it.
have no say in it. Don't chime in.
We got it, but the next time we get a rendition, we got to make sure John is up in here. We need Raphael, dog.
Oh,
I
period.
know, man.
Yeah.
Look, I came in my orange though.
Yeah.
Longer, dude.
Is
It looks kind of red.
That's your color on your screen.
are you sure that's orange?
I mean, it's
Okay,
I
I
don't know what it
see.
is,
I see.
honestly.
I can see it a little bit. I see it. Yeah. I see it.
My man.
you're in blue, Leonardo.
Oh yeah. I was waiting for y'all to pick up on that, man.
I wasn't prepared.
You're an
Uh,
orange.
You know. Okay. Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Don't forget the hoe.
Oh.
But that's what's up,
Thundercats
man.
are loose.
It's been a wonderful inaugural conversation. This is the first time we going live. We've been doing this. We've been kicking it like this for several months now, but this is the first time that we've actually gone live. You're going to be bringing more conversations similar to this, where serious topics are talked about and some leisurely ones, because everybody deserves at least a break from the craziness of the norm, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get some last words, but mine are officially, man. Always remember who you are inside, who you were as a child, and find the best way to reconnect with that person and just be yourself in every single instance and opportunity in your life. It'll make life a whole lot easier, man. And never forget to be grateful. Rob, what you got for him?
That's good. I'm gonna piggyback off of you, man. I'm gonna go a step further and say, don't just find and remember who you were as a child. Tap into the best part of who you can become. And the only way to do that is to forget about who you have been all this time and learn how to be the person that God created you to be. And the only way to do that is to get in his word and develop yourself and not be afraid to shed skin. It's okay. It's part of your DNA, but your DNA is a strand that still has pieces of you that you haven't tapped into, right? You were made this way from birth. So figure out how to tap into the other parts of who you already are, and then go forward with that in confidence and be bold.
Greg,
I'm
what
gonna
you got
top
for him,
that
bro?
off. I'm gonna top that off because that's a perfect segue, man. You said the scripture, and it says so many times, "Do not be afraid." So I'm gonna tell you, be bold and courageous, because that is what we are called to do. Lead God's people with passion, and I promise you will have a life that you love. It's so simple, it hurts.
Words are powerful, and some powerful words were spoken this evening. We hope that you join us again next time, man, and for another episode of the GFB, the Greatfull Brothers. This has been a check-in, our inaugural one, and it certainly will not be the last. And until we meet again, may the Most High bless and keep you, and remain grateful.
Peace in the Middle East. Oh,
In the Middle East, boy. Lord have mercy. And you know what?